All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and the Kansas City Chiefs. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Let's go. 70, Indy. Get ready, get ready, get ready. No, hit it.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On 2nd down, Eckler. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
And it's 3rd down.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. They'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete. The coverage good that time by Kendall Fuller. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And they're a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
Check 3, check 3.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage. 17 on the play.
Yellow. I'm on 80. Check 59. You gonna get this, boy? You think you won't get this?
All that, and it only nets him a yard. It's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the 44th, Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
Here we go. 90, Wolf. Hey, Foxtrot.
Second and 9 now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Back to throw. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Yellow. 180. Okay, double.
On 1st down, Coleman. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
Yellow. Watch the screen.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the 1st half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line, as that will wind us down to the end of this 1st quarter of play. Charger football to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Topper! Check. Hey, lock it. He's checking. Crash. You go tight. You got it up. 5.
Now Eckler. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a toss play to Eckler. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
2nd and 13. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
He'll look to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
On 2nd down now. It's Coleman. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go. Go out.
They'll run here with Eckler, and they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll look to throw. Complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, The action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Gets it to Hardman. A jet sweep. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City 1st.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Dancing to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers 30.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Johnson's got it complete. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way. I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
70, Indy. Get it.
On the ground, it's Eckler. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Here we go. 30 base. We got three, fellas. We got three. Wait. 5.
Second and 11. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll throw now on the final play. This is caught by Williams. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 23. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Kansas City Chiefs. 1st down. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. He finds his man Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Yellow. Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
And no pitch there and no chance either, as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Hey, 43, 15. Let's go. Exit. Mine's 59.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to make it 4th down. And the kick by Butker is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30, going on the ground with Eckler. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger 1st down.
And the Chargers 1st down.
Got it. Leo. Jim. Check it out, Reed. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Ready.
1st down, and they stick with Eckler. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Here we go. 15 run. Hey, team 6.
2nd and 14. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Y'all playing the wrong football. Big ass. Shit. Go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. And some room to roam now. And he'll be taken down deep into Charger territory. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 63 yards on the ground.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. And the catch made by Johnson. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 17-3. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Hey, check 24, watch 24. Slam, slam, slam. Shift, watch the shift. Watch the shift, watch the shift. Hey, go.
False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman, certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
He'll look to throw. He completes it to Henry. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll set up to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dee Ford. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Yellow. Watch a slant, watch a slant.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
At the 17-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Mahomes. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill there to make the grab. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one.
Here we go. Check 24, check 24.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hey! Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Blue Dan. Mike, ready, go. Ready.
They're going to look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
They will run again with Coleman. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run on first down. Coleman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Joey Bosa in on the stop.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
At the 35-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out.
Well, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Derwin James with a pick. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. They'll look to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D. Ford picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 46-yard line.
Here we go.
On the ground, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So this one in the win.
You know, isn't it nice to get a really good game?